Hello everybody, welcome back. Jason here with 10-minute reviews. My fuzzy co-star Freya is running around here somewhere. I'm sure she'll put in an appearance. She always likes to. As always guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We're just, again, small family channel. Me, the fuzzy one, the wife, love to talk about books. We're going to keep doing this no matter what. You're going to be hearing about books from us for years to come. But any support you guys may want to give us would be greatly appreciated. So for today I'm not going to talk about a book. Today I want to do the second in what I was hoping would eventually turn into a monthly thing, but I wasn't able to do it in January. A kind of a proxy sort of interview with an author where I send them a bunch of questions and then they send me their responses and I bring those responses to you guys. And today's author, pretty cool. Last time around I was able to do one of my favorite authors, Andrew Moriarty, an indie author, and today Jason Cordova. So today, instead of an indie author, we're getting some questions answered from a major author who's been published by major publishers and a pro at what he does for sure. Some fantastic books out there. So here we go. Let's see. So I'll be reading off reading off the email. So the first question I asked him is I had noticed it in Jason's bio that he's a Navy vet. And so I asked him, as a vet myself, one thing I've always noticed is in military sci-fi, when authors really nail the military mindset. As a vet, I can always tell when an author's writing about military or troops or just people in combat and whether or not they have any experience whatsoever in it. So I asked him, how does your time in the military color your writing style or the outlooks of your characters? And his answers, when he was first starting out, he didn't think he didn't really think it did. The more he's written through the years, however, he's noticed that that his time in the Navy was really showing when characters react to certain situations, particularly in scenes involving naval maneuvers in space, which makes a lot of sense. There's a reason it's usually called space navies in science fiction. At some point when we're going to be, out in the stars and decades, centuries from now, I'm sure we'll be calling it a navy as well. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And again, it's that military mindset. It's that military mindset. I can really see when authors nail it, and it really stands out to me when authors don't. That actually, by the way, is the reason I can never make it more than about a tenth of the way through the second book of the Hunger Games. I tried because it was really big, and the first book wasn't bad, but while they weren't soldiers, these were basically people that were in a combat situation, and it just did the way they thought just didn't ring true at all. It really didn't. It just didn't feel right. So, second question I've asked him. He's written in a lot of great worlds and universes. Jason Cordova's written some freaking amazing stuff. Far too many for me to name. Some of my personal favorites were the Freehold series. He's written in Michael Z. Williamson's Freehold series. He's written in John Ringo's Black Tide Rising universe, and he's also written in the Four Horsemen universe. But again, he's written in so many different things. So I asked him, since he's also written his own worlds, which do he prefer? Is it more or less difficult writing in someone else's established universe? So his answer, that's a tough one. I really like writing my own universes because I know what the rules are better since I wrote them. The Kin Wars, for instance, are a great example. I know where it's going, what's supposed to happen, the characters evolved, and the overall story which led to all this taking place. He says, however, sometimes it's easier to play in someone else's sandbox and just follow their rules. So I guess 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Of course, it would be more fun to write in your own world. So, third question, along that exact vein, what was his favorite universe that he's written in? And he says, not counting his own. Hands down, it would be Larry Coria's Monster Hunter International, which I will be reviewing at some point. So, the Monster Hunter International universe. Though the Four Horsemen universe, which written by Chris Kennedy and Mark Wandry, will always hold a special place in his heart. Because he's written more Four Horsemen novels than he has for any other series. That makes sense. That also means he's probably very, very familiar with it. The Four Horsemen world or universe or galaxy, whatever you want to call it, it's fantastic. It really is. Four Horsemen are a great series. Next question. Amongst our viewership, we've had I've talked to a few aspiring authors and some indie authors, and almost all of them say kind of the same thing. When they talk about their books, when they talk about their first book, it's usually referred to something along the lines of the abomination that shall never be named, or the atrocity that shall never see the light of day, stuff like that. So I asked him, is that a common thing, and what advice would he give to budding authors? So he says, there's a quote that I like to remember, although I'm not sure who said it. It goes something like this: Know that what you write is going to be the greatest book ever penned, and also it's going to be the largest turd in written history. Okay? Sounds legit. I have no idea who told that to me, but what I took from it is not to be too harsh on myself when writing, because some people are going to love it and others hate it. It's a quick aside, by the way, guys. That is why I do not review every book I read. One, I don't have the time. I probably read 3 books for every one I review. But 2, I only want to review books and authors that I really like. Just because I don't like a book or don't like an author, I don't want to review it saying so, because just because I don't like something does not mean that it doesn't have a lot of people that love it. So just because something isn't for me, it's not my place to trash someone else's work. There's definitely people that do like it. So I agree. There's a little bit for everybody. The entire goal of writing novels is to entertain. You should have your own goals as well during the writing process. One of those goals should be to always get better at the whole writing thing. Hone your craft. Keep learning. Develop your voice and style. We remember certain books and authors because of how they told the story, not the actual story. 7 plots can be told a million different ways, but the one with your style and voice is different than the other 999,999. Make it stand out. That makes a ton of sense. It's the writing style that does it for me more than anything else. The writing style, oftentimes dialogue between characters, but the writing style. The writing style is what really sticks out for me. So next question. What is his favorite books, personal favorite books and authors? So he says he really enjoys Christopher Roccio's Sun Eater series. He's already mentioned Larry Correia. Ooh, the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. I know we've talked about those on this channel. Very, very entertaining. And he recently discovered Michael Merceau's The Deep Man. We just reviewed that maybe a week ago, if that. Fantastic, incredible novel. And he says he considers it an absolutely amazing debut novel. And I am looking forward to the sequel coming out this year. And of course, David Weber. David Weber is a legend within the sci-fi community. And Jason says he's both a friend and a mentor. He's learned a lot watching him and talking to him over the years. David Weber, phenomenal author, fantastic author. So the next question. The last decade or so, it seems there's been a growing amount of book-to-TV movie adaptations that see great success. There's always been, book to movie to TV stuff, but a lot of times they don't do all that great. Which of your books or universes that you've written in would you most like to see make it to the screen one day? Which among your personal favorite authors or books would you like to see on the screen? So his answer, this makes sense, depends on the budget. Personally, I'd love to see the Kin Wars on screen. Of course, that makes sense. It would make for a very thrilling TV series, especially since they could bring in a different actor every few weeks to play Andrew. The budget would be astronomical, though. I believe from what I've read, that's what happened with Altered Carbon. It was a fantastic show. Yes, the second season was a little bit weaker than the first season, but still, it was fantastic, and I've watched both seasons probably half a dozen times. But from my understanding, the budget was just so insane that it just didn't justify continuing it on. And he says especially a certain scene in Wraithkin. As for other authors, he'd love to see a movie series based on Larry Correia's Saga of the Forgotten Warrior, and a movie based on The Sheep Farmer's Daughter by Elizabeth Moon. So, interesting. Definitely interesting. Next question, final question. Will there be a 5th Kin Wars book? I saved this question for last because I figured for the Jason Cordova fans out there, they'd be very, 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 very interested in this. And he says yes. He says Winterborn is wrapped up, cleaning it up now, and the final book in the Kin Wars, Hammerfall, is about halfway complete. He's hoping to have both of them out by the end of the year. So guys, keep an eye. Jason Cordova's Kin Wars series, which I'll be reviewing as soon as I have a time slot to do that. So many books to review. Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you very much, Jason, for doing this for us. And hopefully I can turn this into a monthly thing. It's just, authors are very, very busy. Writing a book is not easy and something they do quickly. Once again, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll catch everyone next time. Bye now.